Hello, and welcome to Preparing for Reiki 1 the Magician. I was going to stop after the first three, but I thought I would go all the way to this slide before I start with the actual lessons. So this way, if someone is genuinely interested in Reiki and want to know more about it, they can view all the way up to here and see more about what it is and what the process is, so that can help make a better informed decision before taking the course. So as we move through the tarot deck on our journey, we come to card one, the Magician. We find that the Fool, his spirit has taken the leap into the physical world and is now firmly ensconced in a body. The Magician is facing forward, which symbolizes being oriented in the present. One arm points up and the other gestures down, connecting the ethereal plane with the physical ones, similar to how we will connect to Reiki and bring the universal power to our clients. The magician stands behind an altar, a place of sacred action and connection, ready to begin. The tools that the fool carried are now displayed on the altar, their potential waiting to be explored. From here begins the process of learning to understand the rules and reasons for this new existence. Building familiarity with these tools and lessons brings the essence of individuality and the opportunities to create and manifest. As the magician, we too have arrived at the altar. We will uncover the power of our greater connection with the world and our individuality. The invisible will become tangible, and we will learn how to own our space. Creativity, manifestation, and possibilities rest just at our fingertips. The action is ours to initiate. It starts with a simple first step on our new path or onto our new path. The path of Reiki. People from all walks of life are drawn to Reiki for many different reasons. Many people come to Reiki after a personal recommendation from a friend who has already attended a workshop. They notice positive changes in their friends and decide to experience it for themselves. A large majority of people simply need healing and want to take responsibility and control of their own treatment and well being. The most common factor seems to be that people are searching for hope and guidance. Often, people feel empty and are looking for a way to fill that void. Many students begin as skeptics, just curious to find out more about it, and then they leave as Reiki enthusiasts. The secret to getting the most from Reiki is to be open to Reiki. Instead of being negative and skeptical, let the joy of Reiki envelop you. Leave your fears and doubts behind and jump headfirst into a life changing experience. Reiki draws you to itself. If you are attending a seminar or workshop on the first degree of Reiki, you are there for a reason. You need it. Trust in the omniscient wisdom of Reiki. Remember, you will only need the first degree initiation once in your lifetime, so make it a celebration. You will never forget. It's up to you. The initiation ceremony. To work with and become a channel for Reiki, you need to go through the first degree initiation or attunement ceremony, which consists of four initiations. These initiations are sometimes done over the course of a 2-day workshop. I prefer to do them during the four or do all four initiations at the same time, as I believe it is beneficial to the student. The energy is stronger, and the student is able to work and practice at their full capacity throughout the rest of the workshop. This process also allows the student to feel, sense, and experience more of the Reiki energy. The four initiations or attunements are given live during the workshop to supercharge the student and raise their energy vibration to the peak level possible with first degree Reiki. So you'll hear me say this in a couple other sections, but it's like a three-way light bulb. When you first start, you turn the light on, and that's Reiki 1. When you go to Reiki 2, you turn the light up to the second power, and then when you go to Reiki 3, you turn the light up all the way. What happens during the initiation? Many people wonder why the initiation ceremony must remain a secret and why the students need to close their eyes during the initiations. Questions like these are quite normal and understandable. The reason for the secrecy is to keep the ritual sacred and cherished by the Reiki master and their student. The eyes kept closed allow the recipient to be attuned, to go inside, and focus on the experience. It also helps the Reiki teacher concentrate on what is a complex set of procedures. During the initiation, the Reiki teacher uses the ancient symbols and mantras, which are holy words that activate and direct certain energies, rediscovered by Dr. Yusi, to connect to the student to the universal life force. Energy is everywhere. It travels through space without wires. Once you have been connected to the energy, it flows automatically forever. It is a universal and immeasurable energy, and its power is unlimited. So when I do mine, there is a whole meditation that I do first. So everyone will be in group on the Teams chat. I do the meditation, and once I get to the end, then I do the attunements distantly to each person who's present in the course. You'll get 4 attunements, then I move to the next person as I go through each person on the course. And everyone who's done it says it's a beautiful experience. And then once you get, if you decide to go through all 3 of them, at the end you will either attune each other or attune me, depending on how many people are in the course. What happens after the initiation? When you receive your first initiation or attunements, during the initiation ceremony, energy will start to flow through your hands just at the thought of healing. So every time I make these slides, my hands heat all up. You will also start a 21-day cleansing and detoxification cycle through the chakras. The Reiki attunements or initiation has a powerful healing influence on the mind, body, and spirit, activating all several chakras, beginning at the root and ending at the crown, each one taking approximately 24 hours. And this happens 3 times. You may not be aware of this depending on how fit and healthy you are. Your body is preparing you for healing. Your whole system will be readjusted and rebalanced. You may experience symptoms of physical cleansing and detoxification, such as running nose, headaches, or diarrhea. There's no need to be alarmed. The body is simply flushing out the toxins that almost feel like you have a flu. For some people, not everybody, it just depends on how sensitive you are and how much needs to be cleansed out. It is a good idea to spend a bit more time resting over the 21-day period. Use the time for self healing and reflection, placing your hands on any aches or pains you may be experiencing, and allowing Reiki to ease your discomfort and speed up the healing process. So, in the group, when you get there, you'll go through all these trainings if you decide to take this whole course or if you're in the course already. I'm going to have a morning and evening, 3 weeks worth of morning and evening. Um, it'll be breath work, then self Reiki. There'll be different ones for each week, but it'll be the same one each week. So week 1, you'll do one type of breath work and Reiki self healing, morning and night, and then it'll be a different breath work for week 2, and then another breath work for week 3. And each one will have a morning and an evening one. You could do both. You can do one or the other depending on your time. Once you do it and learn the routine, you don't even have to listen to it anymore. You can just do it, the way you want to, or however long you want to, depending on how much time you have in the morning. The healing energy works on all levels of the mind, body, and spirit. This process can be quite emotional and exhausting at times, as the Reiki energy goes to work on the emotional and physical blocks, scars, and baggage that your body has collected and stored throughout your lifetime. And there's a good book called The Body Keeps Score that you may want to grab as well. It talks about how blocked energy can stick in the body and cause different ailments. Reiki's wisdom will do whatever is needed to release you from the fears and barriers that prevent you leading a happy, fulfilling life. If you find yourself getting emotional and wanting to cry, scream, or shout, let it happen. The old saying, better out than in, is so true and therapeutically beneficial to your being. Release the ties that bind you to your old habits and lifestyles. Reiki is like a rebirth. You can cleanse your mind, body, and spirit and start again. Trust in the healing power of Reiki. And in my own personal experience, I have moved blocked energy patterns and habits that you have around whatever that block is take longer to release than the actual energy. So I released it, then I would go through the habit of whatever that energy brought up for me. There was no charge behind it. So eventually you would find that you'll start not doing the things that you used to do because it kind of seems silly once there's no whatever caused it to happen there anymore. Some reactions may seem unpleasant, but by accepting them as part of your personal healing process and not attaching a great deal of importance to them, they will soon pass. You may also find yourself dealing with certain issues in your dreams, which can be helpful to keep a record of them in a dream journal. Then, when you have time, you can meditate on the issues. The initiations switch on an extra surge of power, which fuels all life. The more you use Reiki, the stronger it becomes. Establish the habit of giving yourself Reiki before you fall asleep at night and when you wake up in the morning. Or either or. Like I know everybody doesn't have time to do it all the time. But it is important to try to do it at least once a day. The more you use it, the more power it gets. Remember, once you have been attuned to the universal life force, you can begin channeling the healing energy of Reiki to yourself and others. Because the energy is drawn through you as a channel, so it was described to me when I took my first one, it's like the electricity comes to the socket in the wall, and one hand is, well, I'll use your hand because it's just like a cord. You are the plug that plugs into the wall, and the energy comes through you and plugs in like a plug it into a cell phone that charges the phone. You're the cord in the middle between the power, which is this universal life force energy, and the phone, which is your client. So it comes through you into your client. So because this energy is drawn through you as a channel, as opposed to being directed by the healer, the Reiki practitioner will never feel drained or take on the condition of the client. On the contrary, you as the practitioner are also receiving self treatment as the Reiki energy flows through you into the recipient. So it's coming through the universe into you, and you, every time you use it to heal somebody else, you get a little boost to yourself. Your psychic, intuitive, and creative abilities will be raised by 50 to 80%. By raising your vibratory level, you will begin a transformational process on all of the many levels and aspects of your life. Yeah, vibratory. Yeah, that didn't want to come out. We all live in an extremely stressful and hectic world, which can influence our total being. Reiki helps control our mind, body, and spirit, how they respond both internally and externally to the often negative and destructive internal stimuli from the world. If applied regularly, Reiki will reduce the extreme highs and lows of life, gradually leading to a new and balanced existence. Once you have been attuned to Reiki, the energy will flow through you or hands whenever you can touch with the intention of healing or helping. You can use Reiki on. There's some ways you can use the initiate after the initiation for Reiki. You can use it on yourself, other adults, children, prenatal babies, accidents, emergencies, animals, birds, fish, plants, trees, seeds, charge your crystals, charge your food, charge your drinks, at work. Sometimes I get a lot of work. I'm in customer service, so I'll kind of send it distantly through the phone if I'm talking to somebody who's having some issues. On contracts, projects, letters, documents, your car battery is dying. Put some Reiki on it, try to give it a little energy to give it a bump. For protection, for traveling, if you're going around the room, you can, once you do distance, you can probably do it without distance, but once you do distance or one of the symbols. You can put the symbols in the rooms and kind of get the energy in the room to go back up. Your drinking water, you can charge the water before you drink it. Charge the shower head or your bath water before you get in. Possibilities are endless and are only limited by your imagination. What is an initiation? The initiation or attunement is the most important element of any Reiki course. It sets Reiki apart from any other complementary therapy and most spiritual disciplines. It helps the student to tune in to Reiki. During this ritual or ceremony, the Reiki master brings the student into their own energy field and shares the experience of Reiki. As a result, the student subconsciously realizes that they can make this connection themselves. In some traditions, it's called initiation. Sometimes they call it attunements, spiritual blessings, or is another name you may hear for it. There are 4 attunements during a Reiki 1 course that gradually deepen the receptiveness for Reiki. Some experiences during the initiation or attunements may have clearing energy blockages and become aware of energy, sudden body movements, sensations of heat or cold, heaviness, tingling, slight headaches, sensing colors. I've got it done at different times, and it was different for with different people, and even with the same person, it was different. Sometimes I would see colors, sometimes I would see images of things. Just depends on your own individual experience, and everybody's is different. You may feel a stirring of emotions, happiness, sadness, love, gratitude, experience of flashbacks and memories. May have a spiritual opening, like you're floating, you're in a deep meditative state, awareness of a presence of angels, guides, or relatives in the spirit realm, feeling of calm and peace, experiences of depth and expansiveness, seeing light. Or you may have little or none, which happens very often and is perfectly fine. The initiation will still have worked even if you don't have any reaction or see things. I know some people are visual, so they may not see anything. It just depends on how your body reacts to it. Some of the effect of the attunements or initiation: the ability to connect to Reiki yourself, it's a lifelong connection, opening to the higher energetic vibrations, physical and emotional healing sometimes occurs, arrival of palm healing abilities. You'll feel your hands, normally they get warm when you start working with people and you connect to it. Arrival or deepening of intuition. So if you're already intuitive, it's going to increase. If your intuition is kind of blocked, you may find that it finally picks up and you just sort of have, more reactions or more intuition about things. The 21-day clearing process. An initiation or attunement generally starts a process of changes and adjustments in the body, which can often have physical effects, as it mainly leads to clearing the body of toxins. And by toxins, it's mostly stuck motions, things that were stuck in there that just need to be cleared. It is recommended to drink a lot of water during the following 3 weeks. Often emotional issues are brought to the surface as well. Therefore, the student should be prepared that they may encounter sudden flashes of memory, or dreams, or intuition, bringing these issues up. This is a good and healthy process as it means that you are now able to deal with the problems buried in the subconscious. Sometimes weird shit will come up. You haven't thought about it in years, or it'll hit you a little bit differently now that you're an adult. Maybe something from when you were a child will pop up, and you'll be like, that was kind of weird that that happened that way. Or maybe you just blew it off because that's how it was, but now as an adult, you realize it wasn't right. So you'll be able to deal with it now, do a lot of inner child work and things like that, how to work. But you'll have things just pop up for you to kind of deal with and release so you can move forward. The art of healing comes from nature, not from the physician. Therefore, the physician must start from nature with an open mind. And resources for this section, the magician part, is from Witch's Anatomy by Laura Tempest Zakroff. I love her book. She goes through the whole body systematically. She's got different meditations you can do for each section. And she takes the tarot cards and goes through your whole life past as you go through each section. So I really thought that this one in the full worked well with the course, and I pulled some of those parts out to use in different parts of this course. But I highly recommend the book. It's really good. And I'll see you in the next slide. And if you this is the last of my free ones because the next one starts the actual lessons. So if you're interested in joining my Reiki course, and just leave a message in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you're already taking the course, sorry about asking if you're interested, but I just wanted to put that out there because I'm sharing this in different spots.